Record it now.
The notes.
Yeah, I have questions. Oh, here you go. Surviv interview. All right, Mr. Firewave, welcome to the interview. Pog you.
I'm very poggy.
What's your username?
Firewave. Hashtag 0684.
It's not Firewave YT?
No, I changed it a while
So you're
ago.
not Firewave YT anymore? It is crazy, especially because you don't actually make YT videos. It'd be one thing if you were like a professional YouTuber, but you don't make YouTube videos. All right,
How are you gonna emote and then shoot me? Wait, what?
What team are you playing on right now?
Matrix.
Matrix. Okay, and are you the owner of Matrix?
Absolutely not.
Are you delegate or anything? You're just Matrix?
Delegate.
Delegate, okay.
You assigned me to delegate.
And then
I had no say in the matter.
What teams have you played on before in Champions League, before you joined Matrix?
T.
Just TT last season?
Just TT. And we've only played on Total Takeover.
And then SWL, you just played on TT, right? Or do you play on any other team?
I played on TT and LM.
LM, yeah, that was right. Just for a little bit. Well, that wasn't even a full season, I don't think.
Oh, I played for a game and then I went back to TT.
Yeah. And what season did you join the SWL in? Was it season 2 or season 1?
Season 0.
Season 0, okay. So you've been a
TT
long time
joined
OG
season
member
2.
of TT. Who do you play for in season 0 and season 1?
I don't remember.
You don't remember? Okay.
Absolutely not. It might have been TT. I think TT was in there, but I'm not sure. Yeah, TT was in there because I had me, Momo Yoshi, and Freeze as the owners of it.
I can check when you guys joined because I have all the stats. Season 1, TT was there. You guys joined during season 1, the 4th game of season 1.
Ah, okay.
Or the 4th week, whatever. Once Omega dropped out. But anyway, yeah, that's about your history. What is if somebody said, Firewave, what's your biggest achievement in a clan war setting? What would your biggest achievement be?
I was the SWL's official clown of the community. That's my biggest achievement right there.
That's true, but as a player. Yeah, like, did you get any good playoff positions or anything?
Well, if I'm being honest, other than season 1 and 2, season 3 and up, I think we placed top 10 every single season, and then after season 4, we placed top 4 every single season. So I think that's pretty nice that I took a team from nothing to at least have a shot in the playoffs.
That's nice. And then, have you played many 1v1 competitions before?
I have played in a lot. That is how I probably have the most earnings out of anyone else in Surviv.
How much have you earned in Surviv?
Over 500.
Wait, actually?
Yeah, over the 3 years, I have over $500 in winnings based on. It hasn't been any big tournaments like yours, other than a few of them. But most of them have been like small streamer tournaments and whatnot, and I just take advantage of that and wagers.
You played wagers?
Yeah, I did a lot of wagers at the beginning when wagers was big at for Surviv. I mean, not for Surviv, Fortnite. I started it for Surviv.
Okay.
And a lot of streamers who thought they were better than me said, "Okay, bet."
What a throw!
That was nice.
But at least it's a throw for content.
Yes.
And then you recently won the last week of Customs League, and then now that the announcement of were you here for the announcement yesterday about the 1v1 tournament series I'm doing? I think you were, right?
I was here for the entire stream.
Yeah.
Yep.
You can maybe get a good chance of winning that.
Maybe.
Or at least you can do well, put yourself in a position to make the major and show that.
I think I'll make major. I don't know about winning the entire major, but I think I'll win. I think I will at least make it to major.
Yeah, I think you will. Top 24.
Unless I get super unlucky and play like Mercy first round.
Which you wouldn't. You would play somebody who's not ranked.
Yeah, so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I think.
Yes, and all you have to do is win one round. Signups are not yet. I'll let you guys know when signups are available. So we're going to go through the wiki a bit. What is your favorite gun in the game?
M870.
M870?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too rare to find. Not hard to come by ammo most of the times. And does a good bit of damage. Plus you can quick switch it, so.
Good versatile gun. This is Firewave.
I'm gay.
Yeah, this is the guy who was in your mom's bed last night when you came downstairs. Sorry.
Yikes. Okay, so what's your favorite pistol? If you need me to refresh you on all the pistols, I can.
Bet. I actually know that off the top of my head. The M3R something.
M93R?
Burst pistol. I love the burst pistol.
I think that's your favorite. Nice. Yeah, I actually agree. I think that's my favorite pistol. But I think dual Glocks can be really good at short distance.
At close range if you have any aim.
You don't even need any aim.
One of
The spread's so bad that aim doesn't really even help.
my first 29s was with dual Glocks and MP220.
Dual Glock
Shred.
MP220.
He used to shred.
And then what's your favorite SMG? I can refresh you on those if you need it.
Mac 10.
Mac 10's your favorite?
I don't know what other SMGs would there be. There's HK SMG.
Mac 10, MP5, UMP9, Vector, M1, A1, CZ, and yeah, that's it.
Oh, MP5 then. By far.
MP5, okay. And then your
MP5
favorite
used to be the
shotgun? You said M870 already. Assault rifle, there's AK-47, FAMAS, M416, M4A1, SCAR, AN94, Groza, and Groza S.
M16. I mean HK. The HK, but it's not called the HK anymore.
What's it now?
That's the M1 some. The green gun that shoots awesome.
Oh, that shows how updated the Wikipedia is. And then LMG.
Is it still called the HK?
Yeah, what? No, it's called the
LMG.
I don't know.
Okay, never mind.
LMGs, there's BAR M1918, DP, QEB, M249, PKP, PKM, and M134.
You don't even have to tell me, dude. The PKP is the best. No cap. Can't change my mind.
Is that the most damage out of a gun, or is it just the biggest?
I think it's most damage.
Okay, it's got a 200.
It does a ton of damage. I know it shreds.
It's got 200 range. I know that, or 200 bullets in a clip.
Yeah, it's nuts. Especially in wars, I love it.
This is going to be edited automatically, so it's no big deal if we have long spaces. I got an automatic editing program, so it edits for me.
Oh my god, I just lost the SJ Cryptic and he was one shot.
That's unlucky, it happens.
Why can't I ever finish the job? I don't get it.
Okay, so DMRs is M39, MK12, M1 Grand, L86A2, VSS, MK20, SVD, and MK45G.
This might not be a popular opinion, but I love the VSS. I don't know why. It does a lot of damage, but like it doesn't like. I don't know how to explain it, but it just does a lot of damage that you would not expect a semi-auto to do.
And it's suppressed, so it's difficult to see where the bullets are coming from as well.
Yeah, it's real nice.
And then sniper rifle, what's your favorite sniper?
Mawson by far.
Really? Not
most accurate.
Not AWM?
Absolutely not. Why would I like the AWM? That's no skill required. Plus, it's hard to find.
Yeah, but it's a one-shot kill, pretty much.
Yeah, one-shot kill, great. But like, if it's hard to find, you never get to use it. Why would that be your favorite gun? Doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
I mean, just because it's...
That's why Mawson is my favorite gun, because it's not super hard to find, plus I'm good with it, so...
I feel that. Alright, we're gonna go to focus on Matrix in particular. So Matrix right now is ranked in the power rankings before the season as number 14 in the league. What do you think about that?
That means we're the worst team in the league now since two of the teams left.
Who left? Which two teams left?
Good question.
I'll look.
I know it was two garbage teams, though.
Let's look. Elo leaderboard. So there's one from Division 1 and one from Division 4. It was Crab and Property, who were actually, I believe, ranked above you. So you are now 12 out of 14. Let me check to make sure that's accurate. Yes, you guys are now 12 out of 14. That is your official Clanwar ranking.
Talking about, I guess so, but if you're looking at that record, and MMR, we're the worst in the league right now. We're tied worst, and it's not looking pretty for us. Hopefully in the future we can pull back. So.
Yeah, that's believable.
If you're asking me about power ranking, I don't really care. Power ranking is just a power ranking.
But do you think it's...
If you look at IBS, yeah, but if you look at last season, IBS was supposed to be one of the best clans and go all the way to finals, and they dropped out because they're garbage.
But is dropping out different from losing? Because in my opinion, it's very much different from...
Oh, they lost in playoffs to TT.
Oh.
Under them.
That makes sense then.
The reason why power rankings don't really have anything is because most power rankings are done at the very beginning of the season, especially this one, so it's not really updated over time.
But it's also early season, and so far it's been accurate with that. You guys have lost every single round so far. What the heck?
Yeah, it's been rough. It doesn't help that we're in probably the toughest division right now to get a top 2. There's Revolution, PP, and Eon in front of us.
Yeah, I'll go through the divisions right now.
PP and PB.
So right now, the divisions are, Division 1 is Aeon versus Jokers, which I would say is probably the most difficult group. And then you're in Division 2, which is Revolution, PB, PP, and Matrix. I think that is pretty similar difficulty. And then Division 3 is Evo, Candy, Albatross, and Dark. I think this is probably Division 3 and Division 4 are both weak. Division 4 has Immortal and Bong Cloud. So what is your team now is playing up against Revolution. What is your plan towards Revolution?
Well, in the practice war, our issue was mostly focused around having to take out Twisted or Cargo, because once one of those pieces are missing, it's not going to be as hard to beat, or it's not going to be as hard to try and pull something out of our ass, because individually they are much better than me. Their best skill, I mean, not me, but the team, but their best team, best player is levels above me. So it's more of who plays, if we can somehow out-strategize them or outplay them in certain aspects that will change the tide of the war, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like football, any given Sunday.
I would agree. I think, well, you guys played against them in a practice war and lost 6-2, right?
Yeah.
So that's not that bad.
Normally I would be like, oh yeah, they lost Silver, so we're fine, but Silver didn't even play in that practice war, so.
That's a little bit concerning. Hopefully that ends up working out okay for you guys.
Do hope that we get the loot gods in our favor.
For sure, yeah. And I guess one more question: who do you think is gonna win the entire season?
A lot of people probably say Aeon, and I would go with them as well, mostly just because of the depth and then the raw skill they have on there. Even if they don't have the skim, it's gonna be really hard to beat them. But inside sources have told me that Aeon may or may not last the entire season.
You think so? Why do you think that?
Just when you have so many big personalities, just like in any big sports team, when you have that many big personalities, something's bound to come up. And this isn't like you're getting paid money to be on that team, so if someone doesn't like it, they're bound to be like, I'm out. Especially if it's like, I'm just gonna throw this out there, say Rogue gets in an argument with someone like Teth, and Tessie's like, I'm out. What do you think everyone else that's like close with Tessie's gonna be like? I don't want to play in this anymore. No.
But where else are they gonna go?
The clans just not play, because Aeon's not gonna be here next season. So
why not?
Said they're not. Rogue's not playing next season.
Because of the prize pool's gone or something? No,
it's not prize pool. It's just that he doesn't want to play anymore, or he has your IRL stuff to do.
Makes sense. You got your payback there.
I did. That's great.
Yeah, I think.
But if I'm being realistic, I'll go with PB.
PB, okay, that makes sense. Even though PB is right now 1-1, they lost to, who did they lose to?
They lost to Revolution, actually.
Revolution, okay. Yeah, 4-1.
Honestly.
4-1 wasn't even that close.
Honestly, it's I honestly just have to be like, with these wars, it's yes, skill plays a huge factor in it, but the biggest factor is loot, obviously.
You know, I disagree.
If you can know how to loot, then yeah, you're right. But I'm talking about lower clan. Like say Matrix versus let's go to that. PB wiped us. They had better loot than us every single round.
I'm gay.
And that's just because we don't know how to loot. And as soon as I turn off the mic, everyone doesn't know what to do anymore. So I mean, loot is one of the biggest factors in the wars.
See, the reason why I disagree here is because if loot had as much as an impact as you think it would, then it would be difficult to do stuff like power rankings, because it would be a 50-50 shot basically, and it would be impossible to have repeat winners and teams that do consistently well if it was all loot based.
I'm not saying it's all loot based. I'm just saying loot has a huge factor in it.
Then how come people like Aeon are able to consistently win multiple games in a row?
It's just not RNG. I didn't say it's RNG. I was like, it's loot. If you don't know how to loot, you're gonna lose. That's just the facts.
So I guess we can go more deep dive into how to create a winning clan. What do you think is the most important part of building a clan? Do you think it's raw talent, or is it communication? What did you say? The leader. The leader.
If you don't have a leader, you're not gonna have anyone else on your team except for scrubs.
So like Matrix.
Pretty much. We have INQ as a leader who paid 2 people to join.
Who did he pay?
And both 2 people left. Snowball. Snowball and someone else. They both left. I'm not gonna say any comments on that. That was his decision.
Do you think the prize pool being decreased to, what is it, like 125 now?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not sure.
I'll check.
I don't pay attention because we don't have a chance at prize pool, but you know.
It is 125, yeah. So $100 for the first place team, and second place for 25 is worth 25. Do you think that'll have an impact on the quality of teams that are coming in?
Yes and no, because last season pretty good quality overall, but obviously this season you saw a lot more teams and a lot of teams like paying people like, oh yeah, we have a chance to win this, blah blah blah.
What was last season's prize pool at? Do you remember?
Like a nitro.
No, it was more than that. It was prize. It was actual money. Anybody in chat remember? Also, chat, do you guys have any questions for Mr. Firewave here? Anything that's appropriate will be asked. I'll try to find what the prize pool is worth. I believe season 3 was $200 prize pool.
Oh yeah, okay, now I kind of remember. That's prize pool obviously will have an effect, but you see it's not having enough effect to bring someone back like Jimmy.
Yeah, because the prize pool's down. Prize pool's not up from last season. This year's prize pool is 125 compared to last season's 200. And with the Surviv population growing older, they realized that, what is it, $100 split amongst 5 players for a whole season isn't a valuable investment on people's time, because it's $20 for an entire season.
Yeah.
So I think as the Surviv's age range grows older, with people like Rogue who are older and Sleepy and Ocean who are all older players, and I guess you as well, they'll realize that it's much more worthwhile to spend time not playing Surviv and spending time making money at a real job where you can actually get good money. I mean, like when people talking about why I stopped streaming or I stopped streaming as much whenever I got a legitimate job, it's because I'm getting paid less than $1 an hour to stream, significantly less than $1 an hour to stream, and I was getting paid like $25 an hour to work. So I think that's going to become an issue for competitive Surviv as the good older players. Like, I mean, think about all the good players. They're all 16 plus right now. There's no good players that are under 16. So whenever those age rangers start getting to the point where they're looking for jobs and they're in high school and they're with an increased workload, they're not going to play Surviv anymore because there's no incentive for them to earn the little bucks that they did before.
Sadly, our amazing community manager doesn't realize this.
I would agree. I think there's a fundamental major disconnect between what Libby sees and the rest of the game, and the rest of the community. And it's sad because, once again, the community is brainwashed into thinking a certain way without being able to see the other side. Like, so, I'm going to make a video about this, but earlier I joined a server, and a prominent female YouTuber, who I'm not going to name, although you guys may be able to figure out who it is by saying that, immediately left the server once I was in there, although we were working on a mutual project together, because she was so brainwashed into thinking that I'm just an awful human being because of what Libby said, when in reality, I want the same thing that everybody else in Surviv wants, is for the game to be good. Yeah, for a game that's not garbage. Like, I see there's so much potential in this game. It's, in terms of like, it's not revolutionary gameplay, it's a 2D battle royale, it's just a watered down PUBG, but the potential, the ability for this game to be incredible is right there. And it's not even a money issue anymore. There's a few personnel in key positions. Before it was Nick and John, who was enabled by Nick, and now it's Libby, who are holding back the game immensely. I mean, I think Nick cost Surviv in the end of the day like $3 million in terms of like the sale price as well as revenue throughout the entire game. So it's like these few people who are poor judgment makers are running this game to the ground, and in the end that's going to affect not only them and the company that they're working for, but the entire community surrounding the game.
I thought Nick left for a different clan, or I meant a different game, or was that a different person?
Nick the dev. Like Nick of
wait,
Nick
Nick still works with him?
No, but he was the one who started all the issues with clans and John. Because I don't know if you remember, it was a couple months ago, I was talking to a very past mod, like mod early 2018.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, who got ousted by Nick once John got in because she disagreed with the way that it was a female mod very early. Lamp was a mod for a while. Everybody thinks that Lamp's like the savior of the Surviv community, but he's just as complicit. But she was...
I know who I wish really stayed as a mod?
Who?
Oh, one of my best friends, Icewave. We still talk today, but that's kind of where I got Firewave from. He was a really great mod. I don't know if you remember him.
No, I don't know who that is. I was probably there at that point.
No, he was a mod when you were there.
So he was probably ousted as well with the John crew.
He just stepped down because he was done.
Probably, yeah. That's what all the other mods did. They all just stepped down as soon as John got taken over, or as soon as John took over, because it wasn't an environment that they were conducive of. The problem is the way that John works is it's every mod for themselves kind of thing, and it's kind of like it's actually very similar to the way the police department works, and it's called the Blue Brotherhood, where basically like if one cop makes a mistake, the rest will cover for them because they understand like the pressures of being a cop and all that. But it's similar the way the mods work, where if one of them makes a mistake, instead of owning up for that mistake, they will do whatever they can to cover it to make sure that it looks like that mod is not doing wrong, and it is in fact it is the player that's in the wrong, which is why they've been sticking so long to their guns that people like Team Greater, my game's frozen, are bad people, because if they were to say that Team Greater's not a bad person, then that means that an original mod decision was bad. Oh, game's done.
GG's.
Was it you?
Yeah, it was me.
Did you kill me?
Yeah.
Did I die in the sound? Okay. Yeah, my screen froze a long time ago. But yeah, if they admit to a mistake, then that makes the mods look weak. So they just don't admit to anything, and they stand by every decision and make just more or worse decisions trying to cover for that mistake. And it's funny because Libby said that was one of her main things about trying to fix was getting objective modding, but yet she'll do stuff like try to find a rule that doesn't exist to ban people over. Like I got banned for, one of the reasons I got banned from the subreddit was for talking badly about how the mods were educated. Like the way that they trained the mods. Like word for word, she even says that. Like I like discredited the way the mods were trained, and it's like, where is that a rule? When has that ever been a rule? Like you could say I was harassing the mods. Like that is at least semi kind of I guess what happened, because I said that the mods were not doing a good job. But you can't say that I made fun of the way that the mods were trained. That's not a rule. Where is that ever a rule? And like the way like banning Joe Week for an FPS counter and then standing so hardly behind that FPS counter when in fact there's no rules ever against extensions. Like there's no rules saying that extensions are not allowed. There's rules saying that cheats are not allowed, and I would agree cheats are bad. Get rid of cheaters, get rid of hackers. Ice hacks, get out of them. Even like health counter, I would agree, is cheats and should be removed. Do I think people need to be banned for it on the first try? No, because a lot of people don't know the rules. Like how am I supposed to know that a health counter is not a rule because I haven't been a Surviv main for over a year now because I've been banned.
Not wrong.
I don't know.
Honestly, we can talk about this all day, but nothing's gonna change because at the end of the day, it's up to Congregate to make a staff change or Libby to make a change in heart, which either or I don't think is gonna happen.
I think the only way would be through Congregate.
I don't know if Congregate will realize it until it's too late.
I think it is our job to make sure that they are known. I already know I have gotten a report through to Libby's boss, but I think more needs to be brought to Congregate's attention and not Libby's attention and not Zendesk.
Yeah, Libby, she, I don't know, she's something else. The way she came into community, she acted like everyone hated her.
Which is true. Well, it's not true actually, and it's funny because
actually was chill. I know you were one of the ones. We were like, "Hey guys, just give it a minute. Let's see what Congregate does."
I was actually very pro Congregate. I thought Congregate was going to be the best thing to happen to Surviv. I wish I was at least aggressive towards them, and wasn't like super optimistic. I thought that the game was going to do really well after Congregate became over, because they have right now they have like what 5.5 times the team members that Surviv had, so you could argue that they'd put out 5.5 times the content. And I was hoping they'd revive their social medias and be able to be active on social media, because Libby as a community manager would be in charge of, or at least she said she's in charge of the social media, so she'd be able to do something with that and be able to integrate the community that way. But just like nothing happened, and we're seeing slower updates than when Nick and Justin were here, and Nick and Justin weren't even working full-time on the game anymore.
I am concerned about that because like you're supposed to have this great mod team or whatever, but they're basically acting like this is something like a Bloons tower defense, where you just leave the game as is and hope it rolls in some money.
Yeah, it's unlucky. All right, so Arsenic says he got warned for crossing someone's boundaries. Like, how can you warn somebody for unintentionally offending someone? I agree, unless it is objectively against. Well, the problem is you put in subjective rules there, like please respect people, and it's like, okay, well then that's subjective to the point where you can make whatever judgment you want on that rule. But I think unless it was obviously inappropriate, I don't think there's any reason in punishing you. Just say, hey, or I guess a warning is fine for crossing somebody's boundaries, but any punishment beyond that is extreme.
Mr. Nick, he crossed my boundaries, so I'm gonna have him banned, please. Get a new mod. He made me very upset. He banned me for talking back to him.
And then Arsenic said, bring back hashtag boycott Surviv. That would pressure them to sell the game or make changes. I unfortunately disagree because they already know that everybody's frustrated with the game. It's not like it's not rocket science to figure out that everybody's frustrated with the game. I mean, just look at how many posts get banned on the subreddit for having a negative opinion on the game. They know that people dislike the game. The only way that would actually happen is if there was actually a boycott that boycotted the game, and that's not going to happen. Yeah, like Arsenic said, people are frustrated but still play it. And I mean, that's why I tried to do that boycott in April. I got a bunch of like, okay, well, like I don't like the game either, but like I want to play the game, so I'm just going to play the game. And it's kind of like you got to put your mouth where your
mouth is.
Yeah, and money where your mouth is, and like not play the game. And if we could just have like a week where nobody plays the game, and I know people aren't going to do it. They're going to be like, yeah, I'm not playing the game, but then you're going to see them at like 2 o'clock in the morning playing on their account. If we had a week where people would actually not play the game, and then Congregate would realize, okay, there's actually power here, then they might do something. But the problem is there's no way to coordinate that because Congregate's going to clamp down on everything that's any kind of negativity, which they say they don't, but they obviously do. You can see by the deleted Reddit post.
It's actually quite sad that there's this many complaints because obviously I've talked to a lot of the Twitch streamers and whatnot, and I'm chill with most of them. Even the big ones like Marvel's Dream and Colin the Fourth, the ones that you know for a fact don't really like the competitive scene or think that blah blah blah. They're not happy with the game either or the updates with it.
Yeah, I mean it's not.
That says something. Like when it's not just like these competitive streamers like you who are upset with it, and it's like the kid-friendly streamers as well. Probably, can you hit a shot, please? Thank you.
Arsenic said the biggest Surviv YouTubers that are still active could announce it, and the problem is here's why they won't announce it. Libby right now has them in some sort of like blackmail situation where she's promising them the future of being able to possibly be in the Surviv content creator group. I know she's done this with Joe Week. I'm fairly positive she's doing this with Silverware right now, where she'll be like, hey, that kind of content is not allowed in their Surviv content creators. If you want any chance of being able to be in the Surviv content creators group, we're unfortunately not going to be able to have that content. And then they delete it thinking like, oh, Libby's actually has my best interest in mind. She's going to make me part of the content creators group later. And then it's just never going to happen. I know it's never going to happen. It's the same thing that she's been promising with people being nice in the Surviv community. Yeah, competitive.
About to say, like, she's promised that she was gonna consider competitive, and she was gonna talk to the competitive people and actually whatnot. And all of a sudden, how many months has it been? And still no competitive?
Well, apparently she's talking. Well, didn't she say she was gonna talk with you about it, or was it somebody else?
Yeah, and she left me on red.
Yeah, the problem
she hasn't
is
talked to me since.
She puts it in a way where you get out of her hair for that moment, and then it progresses down the line and things get worse and worse, and then she'll complain about how busy she is because she has so many people to respond to, when in reality if she just fixed the issue on day 1 or day 2 or whenever she had time immediately, then it wouldn't be an issue on day 3. Yeah, I do think that Joe Week is afraid of Libby because there was that video where he responded to my video, and I think Libby slid up in those DMs and said, yo Joey, delete this, and he deleted it. Because all of a sudden it was deleted, and there's no reason for him to delete it. The video was doing well. It was an easy video. It wasn't like he was getting backlash or anything for it. It was very well liked, but all of a sudden it gets deleted. And then Silverware, his 2 critical videos got deleted. Like, it just seems to me like there was an attempt to silence YouTubers and content creators, and in the end it's going to be where content creators aren't going to be able to have a voice because they're going to have this threat of, we're going to remove you from the content creation group whenever you say something negative about us. I know, I mean, she silenced me. She deleted my video, or she copy-striked my video. I could have fought it in court, but I don't want to risk having to spend 20 grand for a video that has 1,000 views on it. Mafia says she's not interested in the comp scene. It's unfortunate that some of these content creators are falling into Libby's trap. I would agree. She's just promising the possibility of a competitive scene so that we get off our back about it. That's what she's done about every topic. She did the same about unbans, I guess, content creators.
Really do anything? Like, I'm actually curious. Does she really do anything? Because I haven't seen anything on any of the socials.
She posted like
one,
a couple times, yeah.
I haven't seen anything with the game that's other than that. Oh, these first months were on me. It was already planned out. Blah blah. Blah. Basically diverting the blame towards her developer team,
Yep.
which isn't good for your community manager. You're supposed to be like, oh guys, sorry this happened, we're trying to work for it in the future, not be like, oh, it wasn't my fault, I didn't really have a say in it. Like, you're not, that's not a leader, that shouldn't be a manager. And if anything, something that has been RTC, and like, come on, man. I hate this community with a passion because of her. Like, I thought that we had a chance to come together as a community, start fresh, blah blah blah, but she just took it all and threw it in the trash like it was nothing, and it really pisses me off.
I mean, you think about what has she done for at least the Discord server, which you can argue has nobody else has control of over her.
Ban people,
and has done nothing to change the moderator team.
Accounts. She literally got immortal accounts banned because there are a few people in the immortal server that were trying to raid. Like, are you serious? Are you kidding me? That makes no sense. How dumb can you be?
Well, the sad thing is that Discord went along with it too, because Libby can't get people's accounts to ban. Discord had to do it. So somebody at Discord was complicit with Libby banning a whole bunch of accounts for no reason. Like, they didn't do their due diligence either. And what Arsenic said, Kong is in Surviv is just a case of people doing their job and nothing more. And I think that's even overestimating their abilities. I think if they were doing their job and they were competent, they'd have actual content. You can't tell me it takes 3 months to get rid of the spaghetti code AdSense that they had. Like, I figured out the issue, and I don't know anything about coding, in about 3 days and could have had it all fixed for them. And I know nothing about coding. So you're telling me professional developers, and they have at least 3, I believe, right? Is that how many she said? I think she has 3 developers on the team. You're telling me that 3 full-time professional developers weren't able to find a mistake that I, as somebody who does not know how to code, was able to figure out in like 3 days. What Mafia said, the only reason she does this job is because it's easy and there's no other conclusion I was able to come to. And I would 1000% agree. She is incredibly overqualified for this job. You need a high school diploma for this job. She has a master's degree. That's like a doctor going to work at McDonald's. Like, okay, it's an easy job for that doctor. That doctor is able to save lives and is able to make realistically like 200 or like 20 times what they'd be making at McDonald's. But
I was about to say that was a really bad example.
How is it a bad example?
Gordon Ramsay working at McDonald's. That would make sense.
I mean, a doctor can still work at McDonald's. They have a degree that they're not using.
Realistically, no. Like, okay, here's my biggest congregate. I hope you hear this. Here's my biggest complaint with Libby. She's supposed to be the community manager. She's supposed to be in charge of socials, right? Why is there nothing uploaded on the socials except for maybe 1 or 2 updates since she took over?
Because she couldn't be bothered.
She literally doesn't do anything. She's on call.
You want to know why she's not doing anything right now? Because she has 3 other jobs that she's splitting with Surviv. So she's not working a 40-hour week doing Surviv. She's working a 40-hour week as well as doing other jobs in between. So I right now, say I'm a full-time streamer and I go, oh, sorry, Fire, I'm gonna have to put this on hold. My boss needs me. Can you call me back in like an hour, please? And we can finish the interview. Like, at that point, I'm not a streamer. I'm doing other jobs while I'm streaming. Like, I mean, it's nothing's being updated because half the time I don't think she's working on it. And she, like, I don't know, I know I'm very critical of her, but I can't think of anything she's actually done besides change the rules, banned a lot of people, and change the rules on the Reddit.
Maybe Congress just really doesn't care about this game.
They better, because they paid a lot of money for it. And they already had to lay off like 20% of their workforce.
Because of COVID?
Because of restructuring, because Flash went down. And they were too late to switching to other forms of development. I think fundamentally there's just a big issue with Congregate in general. And I think it's trickled down to them just not being able to get good employees. Surviv's success means their success. I think Surviv is worth like 4 or 5% of their entire company, which you may think like, oh, 4 or 5%, that's not a big deal, but that's quite a big amount for a company to fail and not be upset about. Especially because I'm guessing if Surviv's going down, then a lot of other stuff is going down too. I think Congregate's worth like 50 million. I expect they bought Surviv for about 2 to 5 million. If I was Nick and Justin, I would not have sold for less than 2.5 million. But I also know that Nick and Justin, as I've said in a lot of videos before, weren't very good at business. So
I honestly just don't know why they hired Liberty. Maybe they had their hopes of like, oh my god, maybe she's gonna be really good at this job and she's only gonna focus on the game.
Well, on paper, that's what I would think. She's got a master's degree.
Did you not ask if she had any other jobs? I'm curious.
I mean,
Was
that's
that not one of the questions? I know you're one of the ones that interviewed it.
that I never got asked that, but also that's not really, you assume that somebody's going to work full-time. Plus, when I interviewed at that job, at that time, it was supposed to be a part-time position. They were not expecting it to be a full-time position.
Even if it's supposed to be part-time, how much is the part-time?
I think it was 25 hours a week, which at that point it is very easy to juggle 2 part-time jobs. Because I know she's working with the WNHL, which is very part-time. I think that the Women's National Hockey League, I think that's probably 5 hours a week. And she's working for a couple other jobs. I'm not going to announce which ones because that's not my job. She's announced WNBA publicly, so I feel able to say that. But she's got a very long list of jobs. And one thing that's concerning, and this is something that I would see as a hiring manager, there's like 6 players teaming.
We're in another lobby.
There's like 6 players teaming.
I was unaware of this.
She's been out of college for like 17 years, I think. No, not that long, I don't think. I think it was like 10 years. I think she graduated 2012 or 2013 from her master's degree. And she's had like 18 jobs in that time period, which is, to me, a major red flag. How come you can't hold down a job for more than 9 months? Like, she's worked at very reputable companies before. She worked at a peripherals company, so like a mouse and keyboard designing company. I don't remember which one, generally. We should just put like 500,000 people from Surviv community to put $2 to buy Surviv from Kong. Genuinely, if I was older, I would try to put together a group to buy it. Firewave, there's like 7 people in there.
I win these.
Make them kill each other.
I don't win these. I don't win these. I don't win these. Yes.
Yeah, now you look like you're blending in.
Why am I being shot? Rats. Damn it. I almost got away with it. I should have healed. Yes, kill him.
I don't know. Is there anything else you have to say, Firewave, for this interview?
Yo, you had more questions. I just didn't let you ask them because we got balls deep into the Surviv and how Libby's the garbage community.
I think my last question was just what team you predicted to win. That's what I have on my...
Oh, that's all it is?
That's all I have in my interview, yeah. The interview is only supposed to be like 20 minutes. It's like 45 minutes so far, but it's only supposed to be 20 minutes.
You should add, like, who do you think's the top 10 people, 20 people off the top of your head? Something like that.
Okay, who are your top 10 players?
Starting at 10, I'll take Chisp. No, Ocean Boy, Chisp. Mostly because I haven't seen him play in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Or you just name 10 good players. You don't have to name your top 10.
Oh, okay, 10 good players. Hater, Mersu, Room, Silver. I can't think. Chisp, Ocean Boy, Testy. Who else?
What about
I don't know how many I've named.
Hater top 10?
8. So, did I say Sleepy yet?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, Sleepy definitely.
What about Arsenic?
Arsenic? Okay. I put him top 15, but like I said, I haven't seen him play in a minute. He used to be really good, I know that, but I put any of these top 10 above him currently until I get to see him play, just like Stark. I haven't seen Stark play, but I knew he used to be good. Last one would probably have to be Seal. I mean, he's decent, but he also gets all the good loot. That's what you got to recognize with most of these people. That's why I'd put Sleepy as number 1, because he never gets the good loot, and he still does what he does.
What about Stark?
A lot of people don't recognize him for that, which I find very annoying.
Alright, well, I think that's it for the interview. I appreciate you coming. Firewave, plug whatever channels you want to right now. I'll put them down in the description as well. Or any socials you want.
Firewave __ on Twitch, and then Firewave on YouTube.
I think it's Firewave YT on YouTube.
No, it's not YT. I changed it.
That's going to make it really difficult SEO-wise, I think. Because when I searched Firewave, I couldn't find you.
It's the emoji and the wave. You'll know when you see it. You should be able to see it. It's still on there.
Let me look at it.
Go YouTube and just search up Firewave from the first channel up there. All you have to do is just copy the URL.
Oh yeah, I see you.
Yeah, see, I should be the first one up there.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it.
Of course, no problem. I appreciate you for having me on. If you want to talk to me after the Matrix War, let me know. Arsenic, I'm not a ginger, I'm a redhead. I just want to point that out. Everyone knows this. I'm a redhead, not a ginger. The only person allowed to call me ginger is Mr. Jimmy.
All right. Well, this is the end of the first episode of the podcast. It was supposed to be episode 2, but episode 1 ended up not working out. So, peace out.